Alright, so next up is SZE's pipework powered pillars, which people have been saying really positive things about, and this is going to be a blind playthrough, unlike with my last map where it was my map, so obviously there's a lot I could talk about there. So probably the way I'm going to do this is like play through an encounter and then talk about it afterwards, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. So right off the bat, some custom alkaline enemies that a little bit tricky because I don't have a great intuition about like how much health those enemies have or what to do with them. Be careful with a highlighted blue E. That's interesting. So that guy's just a reskin Death Knight, I think. Not totally certain on that, but I think so. Also, I'm pretty sure these are Macron textures. Kind of a fun ambush with, like it's fun getting ambushed by something that has a new sound effect that you aren't used to. It's like, what is that? What's coming around? I think maybe a little bit awkward here with the monster jump. Like, you need the monster jump if the player's below it, but it kind of makes me wish there was a conditional monster jump. Like, if the player is higher than the monster jump, don't trigger the monster jump, but if the player is lower than the monster jump, trigger the monster jump. Because, like, I was able to just hold this corner and they jumped right past me, and that felt a little bit silly. But, you know, that's kind of the nature of Quake 1 AI. Okay, so hazard. I guess I need to jump. Yes, that's nice. This is like a really nice way of kind of forcing me into the encounter space where I can't easily retreat from the encounter with like fully turning around and making this jump again. That's really nice. Ooh, okay, so I've got time pressure on that plate as well. That's something I explored in... it was another map I did this year. I'm blanking on the name right now. Beige's Depict Materiality is I think what it was called. I had it rise back up after a period of time. But I imagine we're probably going to get a room later with a whole bunch of these. And also, to be clear, like, the one that I did was inspired by something that Lunarin did, and I'm blanking on the name right now. It'll come to me. Underdark Overbright? Or is it Overbright Underdark? Space Hulk, Deathwing, Death Hulk, Space Wing, one of those. But yeah, it's Lunarin and I forget who else mapped in that. There were a couple mappers involved, I think. I think maybe Daz? Daz was maybe involved. But the pressure plates there with the lava sequence, a lot of fun. So I stole those from them. And so this is similar to what I did, but like I wasn't the first to do it by a long shot. But I think what's happening here, this is an introduction, and probably we're going to have a room later on with just a whole bunch of these, and we're going to be asked to do a DPS race, while also racing against time of the various pressure plates sinking. Or I guess alternatively, probably what we're doing is trying to stay on each plate as long as we can to maximize the total time that we'll have in space. This is just guessing blindly, but we'll see if my bet is correct. I think the detailing work here is really nice. Like, it's still smooth, very smooth, but the inset frames and just a little bit of kind of greebly trim bits really catch the shadow. Really nice. And because I was talking, I'm not sure what actually opened when I'm guessing the window here is for me to be able to see something open, but I did not see it. Oh, there's the door earlier. Yeah, okay. Rather, it was the pillars. Okay. Yeah, so again, ooh, that's interesting. I was expecting damage, not being teleported. Ooh, okay. It's both. Yeah, so I think that's a fun way of, like, ooh, melee pressure. It's not a door slam shut behind me. It's not like I'm hard gated here, but it's a nice kind of soft valve or soft gate. And fun reuse of the space. Yeah, fun reuse of the space with a couple small tweaks to it, like just modifying the different pillars so some of them raise and other ones lower. We get to use the same space, you get to reuse most of the same geo, but it has a different feeling to it, and that's nice. Okay, I think I just shot something on accident, and that toggled some pillars. Okay, so we're gonna have some like Celeste-style platforming where I need to hit one of these while in midair, probably. Okay, that's pretty fun. I am hurting a little bit here. I'm below half health, but I've got some armor, so that helps. I think like the timing here is really nice. I do wish like it's a little bit hard with platforming if the source of damage, like if I'd stayed on that, I would have been crushed, and then it just would have been trouble. I think if instead it had been like it's hard to imagine how you would actually do this, so it's easier said than done. But if I could see the hazard approaching me at the same time as I'm looking towards the exit that I'm jumping towards, I think that would help. Obviously, like a first-person game, it's hard to do that just because you've got tunnel vision inherently. But like I just kind of have to intuitively know, oh, the pillar's moving up this fast. I've got this much time. I need to jump now. And that's a little bit tricky, especially if you aren't very comfortable with platforming in Quake. But thankfully, Quake has been around for a while, so most of the community is pretty good at it. Ooh, okay. I'm wondering if there's a second button here somewhere that I am not seeing, because that angle seems a little bit mean. Oh, yep, there we go. Okay. Well, I'm alright with starting over. I'll probably do a save next time I get to that spot. Also, I do feel like the vanilla shotgun is maybe a little bit too weak for these guys. I mean, just like a standard single shotgun. Like, the super shotgun, fine, but like, fighting a Death Knight with the regular shotgun is just, it gets a little bit repetitive. I guess maybe the idea is that I'm supposed to evade these guys, get the super shotgun, and then fight them. But in that case, I kind of wish I saw the super shotgun at the start, and it was like behind bars or something. It was just out of reach, and then I'm working towards something, because I'm just kind of blindly evading around the room. I also kind of wish that the different pillars with different mechanics had slightly different visual language on them. Right now, this one and the one in the next room where I died last time, they've got the same visual presentation as far as I can tell. I guess the ones in the previous room had a different visual presentation. But like, I'd love a little more consistency. Maybe they are, and I haven't picked up on it yet. So I think I neglected this last time, but again, really nice. You jump across, and it's like, I don't have a choice to backtrack. I can't door fight these guys. I can't just have them single file go around the corner. Then we also have this guy leashed up on this platform, so like, even if I could, he's not going to, because he's up here and he's just going to stay up there. So I really have to take the fight to them, and I think that's how you get really good Quake 1 combat. Yeah, so I'd be tempted, personally, to make the move on that a little bit slower, just so that I've got a little bit more time to react and hear, or like maybe even have an enemy aggro, so I get like the enemy bark to draw my attention. Yeah, so here I can door fight, but like it's still this, the teleport slime is doing kind of double duty here. It's working pretty well. And these guys being on leash platforms means, like, even if I want to fight from the door, I've got to take the fight to them. I wonder if there's a ramp jump secret here with, Okay, and let's save this time. Yes, I think these are just reskins of the wizards. Not totally sure on that, but I think so. Okay, so autosave did kick in here. I just don't have autosaving working on my system. So I think the thing that's nice here, like, again, I'm kind of forced into this combat space because I jumped here. I can't really backtrack if I want to deal with these guys. And I'm already in line of sight with the Shalrath. I don't also have really any angles to play around. Like, tucking here maybe will cause the orbs to hit this wall, but I bet you, like, they'll still track around here and I'll be in trouble. And I've got melee pressure guys who could trap me in here, so, like, that's not a great plan anyway. So I feel like the arrangement of the space, the way that I'm fed into it, really forces me to get up close and dance. And again, that's just really good encounter design. Okay, so I need to, let's see, I need to shoot this thing. And again, this feels like there's got to be another button here somewhere because that's a really oblique angle. But I need to shoot it, jump on this, and then somehow immediately jump over there? That feels really tight timing. Ooh, that's a nice bit of backtracking there. It's nice to loop back around and see this space. And I guess we could drop back down, but then we've got to redo that whole path. Okay. So I need the silver key card. Okay, so at least this one resets when you teleport. That's good. I also really like a really subtle effect here with the fog coming in from the ceiling. I think I mentioned in the last video, but like part of what makes a sewer fun is the relationship between the above and the below, and this really draws attention upward. Like this is natural sunlight coming in, and that's fun. Yeah, so I'm guessing these won't ever actually restore, so in this case I have to step in the slime and take damage to reset them. It makes me kind of wish that by default they were lowered and there was a button that you hit to raise them. So you could do a loop, shoot the button, reset them, and not have to do that, but that's alright. So really nice kind of fish hook shape here. The fish hook makes it so that this wizard is really unlikely to actually chase me around the corner, unlike the other one. The other one, I let it chase me around the corner and I can fight it from the start. This one is just always going to be here pretty much, unless you get some really weird luck and it bounces out and is able to make it around the corner. So I'm pretty much always guaranteed I won't face it until I'm kind of in this back half of this loop. And here, I'm guessing that there's going to be a Shambler, and this is going to be a DPS race. Only an ogre? Well, I am on normal difficulty, which, yeah, that's really nice. Okay, so I found a secret. I guess I accidentally shot something that lowered a secret somewhere. But I think like the way that the pipes are being used here, this space feels excellent. Like this is really nice. The way the pipes are being used to let me see ahead and anticipate and also like deal some damage as I'm winding around these pipes and doing some platforming feels really good. I think the melee enemies are maybe a little bit tanky. I've got some good weapons at this point though, so maybe it's okay. But like they're just enough that it makes the timing scary. Without them, it would just be some platforming. But with them, it's like, ooh, can I hit this guy and deal enough damage to be able to jump onto the platform before my platform is too low to make this jump, or before I get teleported. Just really nice. This looks like trouble. No trouble? Okay. I do like, from a thematic perspective, like just this kind of tunnel receding into darkness, and all these kind of inflows of the waterfalls. I think, again, gives like a really nice kind of context of the bigger sewer and the systems connected into this area. Let's see, so we're not even halfway in terms of damage, or enemies. Okay, we've been here before. Oh, I've got a silver key now. Right, I forgot. Oh, and medkits. Let's see, I want those medkits. Okay. So I'm guessing that was a monster jump trigger, that on stepping, probably there's a trigger here, or maybe it's a line of sight trigger, like a view trigger. but I'm guessing that the monster jump was triggered on that because normally you can't get a fiend to reliably make a jump like that, and if that fiend had instead just gotten stuck down in here, it would have been kind of a trivial fight. But if that's what's going on here, like that's a really smart way to introduce a fiend to make sure that's terrifying right from the start, and it's not like this really inconsistent gameplay thing. Okay, we've got a gold door. I feel like I'm looking at a trap here. Yeah, this seems like a trap. I'm gonna explore over here first. Oh, it's locked. Okay. Well, into the trap, and let's save. Nice little window we get to anticipate. Oh, that's just a button to go back up. Okay. Well, we get to see it a second time. Ooh, this is nice. Oh, lightning. Okay. So I would say that like this is kind of your standard ballroom dance floor kind of combat space, and it plays pretty well. I think it doesn't work for me as well as some of the previous encounters. This one I think is supposed to be a bit meatier in terms of like it's a longer fight. It's a little bit more back and forth. There's at least at the start, there's an initial fear of like, will I lose control if this Shalrath fires too many projectiles? I'm going to be in trouble. Can I do enough damage? Or like you saw, like as soon as I saw, oh, there's a Shambler here, I need to deal with this ASAP, or this is going to be an unmanageable fight. So I think there's some kind of fun dynamics to it. Probably this one plays a bit differently each time, and that's good. I do think though it's a little bit of what I was referring to as kitchen sink, where we've got 4 or 5 different enemy types in this space, and it just starts to feel a little bit like, like chocolate and peanut butter, good. Chocolate, peanut butter, vanilla, okay. Chocolate, peanut butter, vanilla, caramel. It just starts kind of competing too much in flavors. This is a personal preference thing, but like, I think like, instead of the mutants from Quake 2, and instead of this soldier enforcer using Half-Life 2 or Half-Life grunt VO lines, you probably could have just used a normal enforcer and fiends. It still would have been 4 enemy types though. You'd still have Shalrath, enforcer, fiend, Shambler, and And that'd still probably feel a bit too much. So for me, it's like pick two, and then maybe throw in a third as like the extra spicy sauce to surprise and kind of mix it up in phase 2 of the fight. Because this is kind of like the whole fight is all at once. I think maybe there's a little bit of a gradual introduction of the different enemies, but it's kind of all the flavors at once. And I think like if it was instead the Shalrath and the Enforcers, okay, interesting. Then after I kill the Shalrath, Shambler comes in. It's Shamblers and Enforcers. Maybe we get reinforcements of the Enforcers. That's cool. Or, yeah, I think just like pick 2 at a time. Maybe get a third in there. But again, this is a personal preference thing. I know I'm kind of in the minority here. A lot of Arcane Dimensions and a lot of Alkaline relies heavily on what I'm describing now as kind of like not my preference. So it's evident that a lot of people in the community, a lot of the people do like this thing that I'm saying I don't like. And it's like, different people, different preferences. It's okay. Maybe we'll get a second fight after the gold key. Please? No? Okay. Yeah, so I think drawing out the fight a little bit more, getting a little bit more meat to it would be nice, and also splitting up the monster types a bit more so the ideas are a bit clearer. The downside is that like by having so many different monster types, oh, we got trouble. By having so many different monster types at once, you do get more like randomness and uncertainty, because like what would have happened if I didn't deal with that Shambler first? What would have happened if I dealt with the Shalrath first? What would have happened if I dealt with different priority choices results in very different kind of late game kind of situations to deal with, and that's fun. And you don't really get that if it's just 2 enemy types, because the choices aren't as rich. I think I've said enough on this space. Really cool thematically. Really cool art. And again, fantastic job of like hinting at a bigger sewer system that's like outside of the playable area. Really cool. But I think let's keep moving. Okay, I think time to save. So this is a bit curious. I'm assuming, based on the previous encounters... Oh no, we've got a button. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, so I think I mentioned earlier about the visual style of these. It'd be nice if they were a little bit different per behavior, because this one's yet another new behavior type, and I feel like it doesn't... Well, for one thing, it doesn't need to be a new behavior type, and for the other, it looks the same as the others, so I'm expecting it to behave the same as the others, and it doesn't. Again, this is kind of like a stylistic or like kind of design philosophy thing, I guess. It's not a big deal. Other really minor thing here is that something that Lunaran did in the Underdark Overbright Underdark was having the top like slightly peaked in this lava encounter I was describing earlier. I think there's then a clip on top to make it actually flat, but the end result is that when it lowers into the lava, it looks like the lava has poured up over the lip and is like slowly engulfing it, as opposed to like here it just like teleports. Also, it sounds like there's a second platform somewhere that when I hit this one completes, but there's something else still moving. So I'm guessing we're going to have to come back to that, which is kind of a fun kind of double function on the thing. Yeah, so here it is, I think. Yeah, so I can't just race through it if I get slowed down. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's a really nice pattern that's just being used over and over here, and really great effect of like you jump across, you've got a hazard behind you, you can't backpedal, turn a corner, reveal monsters. What do? And sure, you can think of it as like a DPS race of I need to just kill this thing before it kills me, but there's always been enough room to maneuver that it only turns into a DPS race if I really screw up. Like if I back myself in a corner and let it like pin me in, that's my fault. That's not the level designer's fault. So I think like this is posing some really nice challenges, some really nice kind of think fast moments without feeling unfair. What I was going to say about this space also is that by being linked to the same button, we get some nice kind of override of the thing. It's one button is having multiple effects, that's cool, but also if we try and rush past the Shalrath and not actually engage in that fight, probably these things will still be in the lowering process. Maybe you can speed run past it, but I'm guessing that by having it linked to the same system, it makes it a little bit more likely you're going to actually stay around and fight. Yeah, so there I would say that's like a legitimate door problem. Not a big deal, but... my preference would be draw the player in a little bit more first, but like this level's been doing such a great job of that everywhere else that like variety is good also, so like it's fine. It's probably good actually. Huh, so that lowered something, but I'm not sure what. And also, this is not a button, okay. So maybe these are also linked to that same button again. That would be... yeah, okay. That's fun. Yeah, really smart reuse there. I do wish that the buttons looked a little bit more visually distinct from the light sources, because I keep doing a little bit of a double take on them. But like really solid reuse, one button for 3 separate platforming sequences, wrapping around the same space, really lovely composition here, really solid work. Okay, I'm a little bit confused now. Something moved. I'm guessing it was this lowered? Yeah, okay, that's what it was. Okay, now here's where we're gonna get a second fight in this room. Pretty sure. Oh, crap. Well, there was a secret up there, I think, but I'm bad at platforming. Second fight. Yeah? No? Yeah! Well, maybe it's because I'm on easy difficulty here. Also, I'm not really sure... or I'm on normal. I'm on normal difficulty, not easy. I'm wondering, like, maybe the intent of the Floyd there, the robot, was to kind of direct my attention back this way? Because I'm forgetting where the gold key door was. It was like the second hub, not the main hub. But, so I think maybe like right behind here? Yeah, here it is. We've got, looks like just one combat encounter left, really, in terms of enemy count. Oh, jeez. I do wish that the teleport was, like, I think one way of going about it would be, these are custom progs, so I don't know if it's possible in Alkaline, but like a teleport that would not have the forward momentum, but maybe that would feel pretty bad as well. Other option would just be pulling that teleport back, because I think it's the second or third time that I've, with these teleports, I've gotten into a teleport loop. Other thing that you could do that might be kind of fun is like teleport the player off into the void and then have like a countdown 3, 2, 1 back, so that it's a little bit less jarring, and also there's a bit more of a time punishment, like if you're speedrunning, but maybe that's silly, I don't know. Yeah, so this platform, this pillar, has the same visual language as the others, which makes me think this is a mover, but I don't see any buttons around. Which makes me think maybe it's not. Oh, here we go. Alright, time to save, because this looks like it's right out of the Underdark over Bright. Over Dark? Whichever it's called. Alright, let's try that again. Okay. I do not want to admit how long that fight took me to actually beat properly. My first time through it, I turned on God mode to actually just be able to see through to the end. I've got a couple thoughts. I think first up, like, it's a really cool idea, really cool set piece, and I think as like part of the longer pacing arc of the level, this is really awesome, like a really good spike, and I just want to be clear up front. Awesome ideas, really cool, love to see stuff like this. This is incredibly fresh for considering the age of Quake. Like, this feels really fresh and really cool. I do think I struggled a lot with this, and it felt like a kind of a extra difficulty spike, even like pacing aside, it felt like such a spike that I kind of didn't anticipate it, or like it feels like what I played just now was hard mode, and I'm on normal. I think there are a couple things here to talk about that I think would help. So first thing, this fight introduces two enemies I've never seen before. So the flying guys, I don't think I've seen them before anywhere. Maybe they show up somewhere else in the level, but I don't remember ever seeing them. And honestly, like, I think you could use wizards or scrags to even better effect. Like, I think you'd still have the ranged pressure of the projectiles, but it would just be fewer projectiles, and it wouldn't be a new enemy type that I have to kind of develop an intuition to understand. The second one is this kind of flying disc thing that I've never seen before, and it's weird because like the first time I saw it, I thought, is this a flying shambler? Is it going to do like a hit scan lightning attack? Because it kind of looks like it's lightning-ish, and I was assuming flying shambler basically. Turns out that it just spams grenades, which in the context of this arena, you've got all these gaps here, not actually that dangerous. And also you can destroy it with 2 rockets, so it's kind of a trivial enemy, but again, new enemy type, total surprise for me, and that's what made me, the first time I encountered it, I died right after due to other stuff, and I thought, well, I just need to turn on God mode to even learn what this thing is. So I feel like it's a little unfortunate. Like, I think there was opportunity earlier in the level to introduce both these ideas, or both these new enemies, so that I would be properly prepared when I see them again. It's like, yeah, cool, I'm going to fight these guys, bring it. Instead, it was like, what the hell's this? I don't know what to do. So I struggled with that quite a lot. Other thing is that the Super Nail Gun Enforcer, we saw it one other time in the map, and even in that fight, I don't think I fully processed just how much health that enemy has. So when this guy popped up, he eats like 8 rockets. That's a huge health pool. Or maybe he's rocket resistant, and it's just not conveyed very clearly. But yeah, I think to swing back to the positive side of this, I think there is a feeling of like multiple phases to this fight, and that's nice. It does feel like there's a progression. The mega health at the midpoint is like hugely welcome. It really makes this a viable fight, and I kind of wish that we got quad damage or something like that, so we could kind of turn it around from being like I'm the one on the back foot to now it's the enemy's turn to run. No, I struggled with this one. I think other thing for me is that the lowering platforms I mentioned earlier in the level, in the Underdark Overbright level by Scampy, the Last Waltz is what it's called. It's Underdark Overbright number 5, and that one with like the slightly sloped platforms lets you see clearly as the platform is sinking that you're about to be in lava, and that gives you a very clear visual cue, versus in this case, because it's all flat, 1 second you're safe, next second you're taking a massive amount of damage. And I think either having that kind of slope would help. Another option would be like a transparent grate, where you could see the depth through the grate. That would also help visually, conveying like why the slime just suddenly totally fills the thing. I think also like there's a bit of like a gamey inconsistency between this slime teleports everywhere else, but now here it just does damage. And like, yeah, I get it, I learn it, but I kind of wish there's a clearer distinction on this. These lights still make me think of shoot buttons. I think other option here that you could have done would be if you used like a a button texture basically, where if the platform is rising, you have one texture, let's say yellow, and if the platform is lowering, you have it swap to a red texture. And that way it's a lot more obvious. You could even, if you got rid of the other dynamic lights in the area, you could have the platforms have lights turn on and off, or swap between a yellow and a red, or a yellow and a green, whichever, so that it's very obvious out of the peripheral vision, like, oh, platform's sinking, or oh, platform's raising, I'm good to go. Because, like you probably just saw in that fight, a lot of me jumping around is like, I'm not sure if the platform I'm about to jump on is stable or not. And sometimes it's like, oh, nope, I was wrong, and then I get a quick slime bath before I can jump to the next thing. That doesn't... feels like there's these little tweaks that can make it better, and help the player kind of internalize these patterns a bit more quickly, so that I can focus then on dodging projectiles and effectively dealing damage. I think on that note, the way I ended up playing the fight for the most part is I memorized the enemy spawns and then tried to fire rockets as soon as they spawned, or even like preemptively before they spawned, so that they just wouldn't have any projectiles. It's really easy in this fight to get overwhelmed, where if you don't kill the enemies fast enough, or if you let them fly into the mid space, then there's just projectiles coming from every direction, and there are too many projectiles for me to avoid effectively. And that, I think, would be totally fine if it was like stable ground, flat arena. But with that in combination with the shifting platforms, it just becomes such a cognitive overload that's like, okay, I've died. So the option then becomes memorize the spawn sequence where the enemies are going to show up, fire a rocket at it as soon as they spawn, and try and make sure that the board is just constantly as clean as it can possibly be. And I think that's interesting. Again, it feels very fresh or very different from anything in Quake. So I think like that's worth celebrating. I think one other thing here that would help me is that because these are a lot of flying enemies and because these platforms are elevated, my crosshair placement is about here, and like how much of the platform I'm standing on do I actually see right now? How much of the slime do I see? Oh, enemy flying up here, how much of the platform do I see? Enemy over here, how much of the platform do I see? And I kind of wish that the arena was structured, or the enemy choice was structured such that my crosshair was here, because then I would have a much clearer view of the platform I'm on. Maybe even like if you could have the enemies like just below the horizon. I'm not sure how you would do that, because then they'd be, I guess, in the slime. But I feel like I just want a little bit more assistance in being able to manage the platforming side of things, so that I can get more of my focus on the combat side of things, focus on the enemies, the projectiles, dodging. Yeah, I think it's a really cool idea, really, really cool set piece, really memorable as well, which is, again, like really well done on this. I think there's just like a couple things that like could punch it up a little bit higher, and also like it's a really big difficulty spike. This fight was really hard and took me a lot of tries. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for the map. I should also say that that last this final successful playthrough I did here was not blind, because like I said, I turned on God mode previously and played through to the end, and then loaded the map back up, started a fresh recording, and have now done it properly, and I'll edit the video so it's, yeah. But I definitely recommend playing this map if you haven't yet. A lot of really good ideas, and I would love to see more stuff in the Quake community borrowing from these ideas and seeing how far they can push them. But that's going to do it for the day. So thanks everybody for joining. Hopefully that was useful.